undefeated welterweight prospect Reshat Mati. What's going on, man? I appreciate the time. I know you're in quarantine in New York City. How's the anxiety, man?
It's not fun, but it is what it is. Trying to get this done over with. Hopefully everything goes soon. I know New York is it's one of the worst spots right now. So I've been staying home since my last fight. So now I'm just trying to get this over with so we can go back to this regular program.
You've been in the spotlight since a kid in the single digits, man. There's been so many documentaries and news reports, and anybody that knows about fighting, they know who you are. And I know that when you were a teenager, the UFC approached you. Could you tell the listeners that story of like them coming to you when you were still an amateur?
Oh yeah. When I was 13, I had a video that came out. It was a 13-year-old prodigy video, which when you ask people when they see me, they're like, "You're that guy from YouTube." Um, so that happened, and then UFC hit me up when do those. It was not like those 30 for 30s, for boxing. It's like MMA has that own. It was the St-Pierre Johnny Hendricks fight, and they contacted me. They're like, "We want to be part of the show. We want to record you." So absolutely, And at that time, I had this vision of mainly going to the UFC. Um, and when they offered me the contract, they were offering me like, "Listen, we want to sign you, but we want you to only commit to just MMA. No, we can't box. You can't do nothing like that." And at that time, I was still unsure. I was boxing MMA, but I still wanted to do the Olympics. And that was the main thing that was on my mind. And I told him, I was like, "Listen, I'm sorry. I just want to be open right now. I just want to, continue doing my tournaments. I'm not looking to turn pro yet." And they said, "Okay, just let me know." And I said, "Okay, no problem. I'll keep it updated." But unfortunately, it didn't happen. Maybe in the future, but right now, I think it's best to say that I'm gonna stick with boxing for a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. Now,
Yeah.
have they come back to you since then?
Not really. I think I know that. Plus, I'm with the zone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not with the. I'm kind of with the opposite of what UFC wants. Uh, because I'm with the zone and Matchroom, and the people that are with the zone are Bellator, and I know them two are not really that good friends. But you never know in the future what's going on, and hopefully in the future, I'm looking to maybe do at least one fight. And who knows? It could be soon. It could be later. You never know.
You know the sport, man. It's just like when you compare MMA to boxing, do you feel like in MMA the path to the highest level could be shorter than boxing?
I guess you could say that. You see, if a guy's going with 10 fights, he could be considered a contender. You know what I mean? So it really all that matters. You never really see a guy with 10 fights in the boxing that has, is already being listed as a contender. But yeah, I guess it's slowly coming. Um, but like I said, these fights at MMA, a lot of people don't realize it. It's kind of brutal. After each fight, when I was fighting at MMA, win loss, I was your body. It took a toll on your body. You're getting kicked, you're getting elbowed, you're getting. It's not a fun feeling. But they do it. I have a lot of respect for everybody who goes into the ring or the cage, and it's not an easy job that everybody thinks it is. Everybody's easy to quit and to tell them like, "Oh, you should have done this." But in the ring and in the cage, you don't really see it often. So you try to figure it out during camp and how to figure out the game plan and all that stuff. And it's up to you to see those stuff.
When you decided not to go with the UFC, not to go with MMA and go with boxing, were there people disappointed in that decision?
Oh yeah, I still have people to this day like, "Yo, forget boxing, go to UFC, like go to MMA." I'm like, it's up to me on
Yeah.
that decision. I kind of fell in love with boxing when I first just fought, and I had that mindset of like, you know what, I think I'm just gonna continue with boxing for the meantime. It's just a different feeling to me. It's I like I said, I would love to do it in the future, but my thing is, I think I'm just gonna stick with boxing for a little bit longer, and in the future maybe do like one or two fights. But it all depends on, like I said, the money. That's one. And just I want to get that belt too. Like the UFC belt's always been a dream of mine, but you never know in the future.
Yeah, definitely. There's guys that come from other disciplines and dominate in the UFC. If you watch it right now, Israel Adesanya, someone that was a kickboxer, that comes in and just sweeps through and just straight to the belt, and now he's one of the biggest stars of the sport.
Yeah. There was nobody in boxing though, and
Yeah.
I feel like this was that my situation is a little bit different because when I was a kid, I feel like I was the only kid that actually did all the kind of disciplines. I was the one that did wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and I did all these different styles. And now it's common.
Mm.
Now it's common for kids to do all these different things. But at the time, I feel like I was the only kid that was doing these different styles. So I feel like I was kind of like the first one to start that.
Oh, you were definitely one of the first. If you look back at your track record, everybody knows that. Now, with the grappling and the kickboxing and the Muay Thai, do you still train it from time to time?
Not really, but it's like synced in my brain.
Mm.
It's I have these moments that I'm like, you know what? I just want to kickbox today. I don't know. I'm just gonna kickbox today. And I me the main thing for me is just the boxing style is completely different on my kickboxing style. My boxing style is a little bit more patient and a little more relaxed and calm and kind of like fluid, like just chilled out. My kickboxing record, you start to stay a little bit more secure because those kicks, man, when they come in unbelievably fast. A lot of
Mm.
people don't realize it too. People get kicked with some kicks and they're like, "Oh, it's so slow. You could have blocked that." You don't see them. You don't see them, man. But like I said, they have a weird way of connecting, and the styles are just completely different. So when it's time for me to focus on kickboxing, my style goes completely different.
Mm.
My form goes completely different, and but I still after each fight, I still try to make it as much interesting as possible. So like when people watch me fight, they're like, "Yo, I want to keep watching them fight." That's my goal at the end of the day too.
You watch the sport. Who are some of the guys that you see MMA fighters that have some decent boxing out there?
You know, it's hard to say Garbrandt because he does a lot of swinging. It's not really that technical. You have to say I don't know if you count Anderson Silva either because he's getting up there in age. Um, oh yeah, um, George St-Pierre. You have to lift those guys. Um, John Jones. If you consider John Jones a great boxer, it's kind of hard to say that statement because he does a lot of more kicking. He's more of a tie fighter than a boxer. It's kind of hard to say who has good hands. I would say Mighty Mouse definitely for sure. Mighty Mouse has great hands. A lot of these guys that have those great hands, they're mainly just the overhand rights and the hooks. Because a lot of boxing, a lot of MMA, they have great hands. You know who I liked a lot? Aaron Pico. He kind of reminded my style. He instead of working on the head a lot, he worked on the body, and he had a lot of power in those hands. Um, he was a guy that actually, enjoyed watching when it came down to striking. Those guys, I don't really like to focus on the champs a lot. I like to focus on a little more of the prospects or the up and coming rising because those guys they show that raw talent, and they don't really have that much of a name yet. So it's kind of like myself right now, to be honest with you. So that's why I enjoy watching the guys that are, stand-up fighters that up and coming.
Other than Aaron Pico, who are some of the guys that you like to watch that, when the pay-per-views or the big cards come up, you're like, "Oh, I got to be at home. I got to watch this."
Uh, it's tough, man. It's um, you gotta say McGregor. And that's also a guy that I completely forgot about too. McGregor was, he has the top hands in the game, man. One punch and then you put him down. You can't not want to watch McGregor. Like I said, St-Pierre, Jones, Adesanya, um, any of the heavyweights. All the you gotta represent the Albanian guys too, Ali Latifi. All those guys that you know I have to watch those. Those are interesting fights. You don't know. You don't know the outcomes of those. Anybody from the lightweight division. Um, it's kind of hard to watch Khabib fight for me because my style and his style are completely different. We don't match at all. So for him, his style is mainly just to wrestle, and no one really likes to watch people wrestle. But nah, I have respect for Khabib, and believe it or not, his boxing is a lot better than people think it is. You
Well,
know what
he
I mean? So like
dropped
a lot of guys,
McGregor.
yeah, main thing was he was a lot. It was kind of off balance with that shot,
Mm-hmm.
but he still caught him. He still made him look stupid. So for the thing like that, people are like Khabib saying are no good. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. Like you clearly don't know. The majority of the people that say that he has no hands are the guys that don't fight at all. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like talking to a wall. But like I said, those guys are the guys that I like to enjoy watch. And I'm gonna keep on watching them.
Well, when you go back to that McGregor Mayweather fight, and of course, like I predicted that Mayweather was gonna win exactly to the round by TKO. Man, I couldn't even believe it because I'm always wrong with picking fights, but that one I picked right. And but when you flip it and you think like, okay, what if McGregor knocked out Mayweather in that fight? What would have been the repercussions of that?
They would think that boxing is a joke. A guy that's undefeated, 51 and 0, right?
Mm.
51 and 0 now. You see that, you're like, oh god, like the guy's undefeated, beat all these tough guys, include Canelo Alvarez, all these guys, and then he loses to an MMA fighter. Then that's why they say like MMA superior, MMA is number one. But at the end of the day, boxing is boxing, MMA is MMA. You can't mix those two combinations. They're two different things. You know what I mean? So it's like, I knew McGregor didn't have a chance, because his conditioning is not really up there at that point. But he has the power. So his shot is like a one punch shot. You never know what's gonna happen. But Mayweather's too slick. He's too fast. And I knew at the end of the day, McGregor's gonna gas out, and once he gasses out, it's not gonna be fun for him.
Do you
But credit
think?
to him, he stood up. He took
Yeah,
those punches.
yeah. Did you see the interview that GSP did recently? He was talking about being the greatest of all time, and he said that he doesn't believe in that. He believes that there's always somebody out there that's gonna be able to beat you. So there is no greatest of all time.
100%. That's why GSP is one of my favorite fighters, because we have that same mindset. There's always gonna be that one person. That's why he's not really a person that talks a lot of shit. I'm sorry, I mean,
No, it's all
but
good.
he doesn't like to talk a lot of foolishness like a lot of guys, because at the end of the day, there's always gonna be that one person that's gonna have your mark, he's gonna have the edge over you, and that's why I'm not a person that likes to talk too much either, because at the end of the day, someone's gonna have that target towards me. So you never really know how the outcome's gonna happen. But it's best to just stay quiet, because once you have that stuff, once McGregor loses, they talk. He's garbage. He sucks. Here's up. When GSP lost, no one really said much, but GSP got that revenge afterwards, though, and that's why if I would have to say someone would be close to the best, I would have to say GSP was. But like I said, there's weight classes, there's different people. You can't really compare that. You can't really say somebody's individually the best ever. It's not. You can't.
Now in MMA, there's training camps for these big fights, and you as someone that is a expert on the sweet science, who when you look at some of the fighters, who would you like to be like a part of their camps? Like certain fighters, like you'd like to go in there and spar with them and help them get ready for a fight. Are there any guys out there?
Well, I mean, I like to help out anybody that's I get along with. If
Mm-hmm.
somebody I don't get along with, I'm like, yo, get out of my face. But in boxing, I have a lot of guys like Boo Boo Andrade, like those guys they're cool to me. Every time I see them, it's much love to them. So whatever they want to help, man, I would love to help them. Josh Kelly, all those guys. I was supposed to help him for his last fight, but it got canceled. yeah, mainly all those guys. I would love to do it. For UFC too, I would love to help those guys out too, because a lot of times, majority of the time, striking will help them a lot. I wanted to help out Brian Ortega. I know he's with that same camp as Anderson Silva, but it is what it is. But um, yeah, hopefully everything goes good. I would love to help him out soon. Never know with Brian Ortega. I would love to help him out. I think his manager follows me on Instagram as well, so it'd be cool. I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, that'd be a good
Yeah.
combination right there, Brian Ortega. Now when you look at the welterweight division in boxing, it's probably the most stacked division right now, right? Is it? Can you even argue that?
Oh yeah, no, you can't argue that. You can't.
Yeah.
You can say the lightweight division is still it's probably one of the hottest divisions right now. Financially wise, it's the that and the heavyweight division is more financially. But when it's the toughest challenge, I think the welterweight, the weight class. There's not really much dominance. You see, Lomachenko has the majority of pretty much all the belts
Mhm.
in that weight class. You have not Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua that have all the belts. But in one weight class where it's completely divided is the welterweight division. You have Terrence Crawford, you have Earl Spence, you have Manny Pacquiao, Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia, you have Sean Porter, and that's not even half of them. Like the welterweight division is probably the toughest weight class in the division right now. And I'll love to put on a show. I'll love to fight any of them. It's just my time will come, and I'm here to take the belts, man.
How long do you see it taking for you to kind of get up there into the top 10?
Uh, I feel like my time's coming. They're the ones that have to push. I'm 21, and I'm just getting started. So it's gonna take my time. Hopefully, maybe in a year or two, I'm looking to mark my way down there. Um, so the only time will tell, and I'm here to just put on a show in the meantime, get my following up, and put my mark on there. So I want those guys to be like, you know what, that guy's no joke, and he'll be a problem.
Pacquiao, is that a fight that you need to get before he takes off, because it seems like he only has a few fights left?
Yeah, I would say it's kind of hard to say that because it's like everybody's calling out Pacquiao. Everybody's calling out Pacquiao. And the worst part is nobody's beating him, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's having a tough time beating him. Him, I would want to fight Amir Khan too, but I heard Amir Khan might be done officially. And that was the guy that when I turned pro, that was the guy that I wanted. He was been the guy that's been on my mind. I wanted to fight Amir Khan. We're under the same promotion, so maybe Eddie could pull some few strings, be like, yo, listen, Eddie, I really want to fight Amir Khan, man. Let's get this popping. But yeah, you never know in the future. Just hopefully, I want to get those guys that are that have been on top notch levels for a very long time. And like I said, it's all up to Eddie. It's up to my promotion, my management, and we'll see what happens.
Are you more of the mentality of like, right now is the moment where I'll just fight anybody as long as it pushes me up the rankings?
Yeah, I feel like I'm still waiting on that moment of just getting those belts and stuff. But like I said, it's I'm a prospect. That's gonna take time. That's gonna be whoever they offer me. They usually, like, when they say, like, you want to fight this guy, I'm like, yeah, I'll take him. Yeah, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I know how my camps go. I know how my fights go, and my main thing is to put on a good show. And at the end of the day, a lot of people that night when they see my fights, they say, okay, that was I love watching a fight. I want to watch a fight again.
Just adding to the highlight reel.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's so good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't. But yeah, it's been going good, and I'm catching a lot of guys with the body shot. So
Yeah.
I guess that's my favorite punch.
If you look at it, welterweight in MMA is featherweight. And do you watch like that division closely, or you're just a fan of the UFC in general?
Oh no, I keep my eye on majority of the fights. A lot of the top 10s I know, but yeah, like I follow all of it, man. He's like that Australian dude that beat Holloway. That's the champion right
Mm-hmm.
now, that weight class.
Yeah, Volkanovski.
He's nasty too. I was always a big fan of Holloway. Um, but a lot of guys, you see, once they start getting older, the weight classes start going up. A lot of guys start going up because they can't make the weight no more. See, Cejudo's having issues now.
Mm-hmm.
You can say, listen, I'm a double champ. I want to fight in this weight class. But he was trying to protect that weight class. Now he's having a little trouble making that weight now. So that's why now he's fighting. He wants to fight Dominic Cruz or Garbrandt. But a lot of times, those guys that stay in those weight classes, they can't make the weight no more. And that's why they go up. And, now times are changing. We're getting older, man. That's it.
One last thing before I let you go. What are some of the fights that you want to see in the coming year or two? Some of the dream matchups for yourself. Like if you were the matchmaker, you would put these fights on.
Obviously it would be you talking about boxing or MMA?
Both.
Both? Okay. I would want to see Adesanya and Jones. That'd be the fight I really want to watch. I would actually want to see Khabib go up. I want to see him go up. I want to see Masvidal and Usman. That's the guy. That's the fight I really want to watch. I want to fight. I can go all day with this. I would want to see Joshua and Tyson Fury. That'd be a fight I really want to watch. Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford. I would actually want to fight. I actually fought, Ryan Garcia, and I fought Teofimo Lopez and that stuff. But I want to see Teofimo Lopez fight Lomachenko, and I can't wait to watch that fight. I want to see Garcia and Javante. That'd be a good fight too. And pretty much everybody in the lightweight division, I want to watch them fight, man. Those guys, I'm talking about the UFC. Those guys, I really want to watch them fight. A good friend of mine, Alec Quinta, I want to watch him fight. Those guys are just entertaining guys to watch. And Dana White's been doing good with his matchmaking and putting on great shows. But, sometimes it gets a little boring. But the majority of the time, those cards were good. I remember the first MSG fight, the St-Pierre and Bisping was the first card.
The triple title card.
That was probably one of the best cards of the whole time, man.
Definitely.
That card was unbelievable in my hometown. But Dana White's been doing a really, really great job. The next UFC card that they hopefully going to be able to do, that card's going to be unbelievably stacked too. It just all depends on if they allow it or not, and hopefully they allow it.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much, man, for the time. Be safe, man. I know New York City it's been hit hard, and it's just sad. It's just sad, and I know you're cooped up in the house, and you need to get out there because you're an athlete. Athletes are in the worst position because they're so used to moving, and when you're not moving, you're stagnant, and it kind of like messes with everything that you plan on doing, right? The momentum that you have, because you're actually coming off that win in Manchester. You're undefeated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you want to fight in the next couple months. It's just crazy. But, man, I guess keep your spirits high, man.
No problem. I'm looking to fight. I was supposed to fight in May.
Yeah.
And then early May, and they were like, no, that's not happening anytime soon, actually. So I'm like, all right, fine, okay. Whatever you can, just put me on a card, man, please.
Yeah. Hopefully Florida opens up. That's what they're saying. So maybe you could get down there.
Oh, I wish, because right now New York weather kind of sucks. So I'm looking for it to get better, hotter. But yeah, again, I appreciate you having me.